And this video I'm going to explain you why are we actually going to need uh, a continuous integration tool. Remember, what we have been already able to do is kind of use the uh, Docker Hub repository. I mean that's kind of an image that we created ourselves. We pushed it into the repository, and then we were able to deploy it on one of the cloud environments right here, which is OpenShift in our case. And we had the same application which was running on our client machine, developer's machine, and then we were able to push it using the Docker and to the Docker Hub, and from Docker Hub we could pull it down into the OpenShift, which is our cloud environment. Now, further ahead, I think one more thing that we are going to look out is for continuous integration, which means, I mean, you're not really supposed to do this manually yourself. I'm not really going to use Docker push commands manually and then kind of pull them into the DevOps. Want to automate this particular flow, and so use Jenkins, which is one of the continuous integration tools. There are others as well. I mean, the one that's mentioned here is Circle CI, but I'm going to be using Jenkins. And the idea is kind of to create a pipeline, and through pipeline I can really automate this flow. So we'll take a look at what continuous integration as a tool is. You're just, as a developer, supposed to commit, and then the rest of the things, including versioning builds, test casing, packaging, archiving, and then all it's taken care of by the continuous integration tool. So it's kind of an automated flow of the sequence of activities that you really want to do yourself. Now, I think you should have a formal definition as well. Continuous integration is software engineering practice, which is isolated changes are immediately tested and reported when added to a larger code base. And the goal is to provide rapid feedback, so that any defect that it is introduced in the code base, it can be identified and corrected as soon as possible. Of course, it allows you to, for an error produced, escalate and write emails and automate all that stuff. So like I said, it can happen every 5 minutes. It can happen every 5 p.m. of the day and every end of the week, depending on what you really want to do and how your update frequency is. So let's just kind of take a look at first on Jenkins, which is one of the continuous integration builds, and how do we install this. So I'm going to take you to the Docker Hub Jenkins page, which is the official Docker image. And the first thing that I need to do is pull Jenkins. And subsequently, I will need to, run this. We already have used the run command, right? So let me just kind of copy this. And this is already there on my machine possibly. So I'm just going to type in here Docker image, because I already pulled it, ls, or you can do Docker images as well. And then you'll notice somewhere in the Jenkins, I have got the Jenkins latest version, and it's kind of here. Now to run this, I'm going to use the same command, which is docker run, and use the same command right here itself. So this should really start up Jenkins on the Docker container that's running on my machine. So everything is going to happen on my machine in this particular case. And of course it's going to take some time, but all the web servers that it needs, Jetty, that's kind of already there on the in the image itself. So you notice what it installs and starts a servlet engine, which is Jetty, and that's because it's part of the image itself. I think you should see Jetty.9.2 version right here, and then once this is done, it's started on port 8080. I can go in there, and let's go down to 8080 port. Hopefully I should be able to see Jenkins right here. Now, this is the first time that I'm running it, right? So it's going to be doing some configuration stuff right here. Let's see. Now, meanwhile, this happens. I think it just says, you just have started this, and you've created as an admin user. So you should be able to use this password to proceed ahead. No, I think it's going to get ready, and then it's going to ask me for a password. I'm going to supply the password and move ahead with the configuration stuff. So installation is quite easy, isn't it? I mean, we have been able to quite quick go to the Docker hub and get the pull of the Docker. I mean, I have not really done this command, which is Docker pull Jenkins, because it was already there, this image. I did it with the last time, but you would have to do this yourself. And then I think it's just about pressing in the password that I just copied from here. And I just kind of show you once more. So it shows me a password right here, initial password. And I can just kind of continue this. And now it will take me to the setup wizard where it will start up, setting up the uh, Jenkins. I mean, it is going to take some time. So I'm just going to show you, like, how can you select plugins if you have to manually do this, like which features do you really want, which features you don't really want, or you can just install the suggested plugins. I think that should be good enough. So it installs all these suggested plugins, including pipelines that we're going to need. And of course, you're going to need GitHub integration with pipelines as well. So, I mean, these you can have an email, like I said, escalate and write an email if the build fails and all that stuff. So this is about installation, and I don't really see a challenge. You guys also doing the installation yourself on Docker. So I'll be in the next video talking about how to deploy and the application and automate the process of the builds. So that's it for this particular video. I'll talk about the, the pipelines in Jenkins, which are going to kind of automate our flow of the whole build. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next.